This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made according to IMDb. Sometimes we're doing every other episode a bonus episode, and I don't know what, I think this was just a suggestion this week that John came up with. We're going to watch the Cornetto trilogy, and we're going to start with the first one, Shaun of the Dead, which was made in 2004, directed by Edgar Wright. The synopsis is, a man's uneventful life is disrupted by the zombie apocalypse.
It was a good suggestion because we're just so sick of, that last movie.
Yeah, I just like some comedy. And
we just simply wanted something uplifting for all of us.
yes, can
And
I get
all of you.
something with a little less rape, please, over here?
Yeah.
Please.
I'll take
Yes.
blood and guts and
Right,
perceived, gore, but, none of that weird shit.
Yeah. Definitely you have the gore, but it's fantasy horror, so it's fine.
A different kind of sick fuck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And also, if we didn't do the bonus episode, then we wouldn't have TC going first on the next week's movie, which I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Oh, no. What is it?
What is it?
It's not going to be good.
Denny's he's like evil genius over here. He's
Nice.
I'm
he's
not going to tell
prepping
you. You
things.
can look it up if you want. I'll bring it up later.
God,
Dangle
I'll
that
look it
shit.
up later. I'll look it up later.
All right, well, I'll wait
and then,
with
and then I'll sit
anticipation.
there at home and go, fuck,
Yep.
just like that.
You're not going to like it.
Nice.
All right.
All right, but this week it's John's turn to go first.
Yes.
Oh, that's
so
good.
are
John
you gonna
submitted
read
this one. He's going first.
Synopsis? What? Come on.
I
He already did.
Did you already
Where were
read the
you?
Oh,
synopsis?
Asleep.
jeez, John's
John's in
brain's not
bed.
working. This is bad.
John's
this is a bad
brain
start.
is
I
like a
didn't
zombie.
even hear the synopsis. I'm sorry. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
He was in cruise control. When is this over is what he was thinking, huh?
He's becoming the zombie. He's going method on this one.
Yeah, you guys
I
done
am.
yet? Did we hit trivia? What's going on? It's time for
I
bed.
didn't
Where's
want you to
my
see this fight. Yeah. Oh, wow. It is very short. Sorry, it was so short. I forgot.
Oh,
So-
yeah, excuses. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only
sure.
pay attention to the long synopsises, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 500 characters plus. I'm good. Anything below that. But yeah, let's hear it, John.
Yeah, well, I love this film, so I was happy to suggest it. The whole trilogy, I like. I love the style of this. So there's like uncomfortable comedies where you sort of like feel awkward for the people, like The Office or something like that, where it's like sort of cringy. And I think what I love about these films and Edgar Wright's films with these three films is that, and it's a British style of comedy where it could be cringy, but the characters are so likable. And I guess The Office is that way too, but I don't feel that way. But it's like kind of a loser kind of guy, but he's so likable at the same time. And part of that is Simon Pegg, that I just love that combination. I think that's kind of my main reason for loving these films is those kind of characters. Just this film is great. The opening sequence is, I love it so much, how they just they introduce like all of Shaun's problems right within the first 15 minutes or so and do it in this wonderful way where it's like they show how he's stuck at the bar, how he always goes there, how Ed is his friend who's kind of like, a Neanderthal or kind of a dick, but he's also his buddy. How he doesn't go out, how he treats Liz. And I love that first sequence, how they sort of like, they are talking, it's like him and Liz are just talking, but they're talking about Ed. And then you just see the Ed's there, but you didn't really assume he's there, but they just show it. And then they go on and
Ed's
now they're
always
talking
there.
about, right.
He's not paying attention. He doesn't care. Yeah.
But it's just the way it shifts to that. Like they're just talking about Ed like he's not there, but then he's all of a sudden there. And then they shift to talking about Liz's friends like they're not there. And then it shifts to show that they are there. That whole sequence of the introduction of Shaun's problems and how like smoothly it moves and how funny it is, I love it. It's like just a wonderful scene of any film. But I always love seeing this film again, starting it over, because I know that I get to watch that first. Yeah, I mean, Nick Frost is just fantastic in his character. He's also very likable while being kind of sick, and I think that's just very well done.
And gross.
And yeah,
He looks a little like he stinks a little bit, for sure.
yeah. but
Scratching himself
it's
in
great.
weird places.
Yeah.
He plays it, but I don't. He's still likable.
He's a mouth
in
breather,
that
really.
scene.
His mouth
Yeah,
is open.
yeah. That's right. He is. But he's still, I find him very likable. And that's, again, I think sort of the real, I think the charm of this movie is if I didn't like these characters, then it would not be nearly as funny or engaging as it is. But
Yeah, it's
they
weird,
can
'cause,
come off
like,
as likable.
Yeah. In most movies, if you have a character that's getting pissed off at shitty roommates, you're on the character side that's getting mad. Because if you've ever had shitty roommates, which I assume is everybody,
Right.
You
Exactly.
hate fucking bad roommates, especially ones that make noise at, like,
Or
late
you
at
hate
night.
that roommate. I hate that kind of
You
roommate. The
hate
one
the
that's
stuck-up
bitching and
guy that
moaning
has
about everything.
a
Hey,
job
we need to have a
that don't need
talk. Yeah, we
sleep.
need to have a talk. Fuck off. I'm trying to live too,
Right, but if you have the roommate who also has his slob friend
Yeah.
that is always there, I mean, that's pretty common, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
um,
But they're supposed to be like 29. Right?
they?
I mean, like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because he
Really?
says it in the thing. I mean,
yeah.
it's like, come on, at 29? I mean, shit, I had,
How old is
I don't
Simon
know.
Pegg
More
right
going
now?
on.
yeah, I don't know. How old was he then? Was he actually 29? Because he doesn't he looked
Yes,
older.
he looks pretty old. It's because he's losing his
Yeah.
hair for the most part, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's been a lot of mileage, all those films. Man, Simon Pegg's an amazing guy. Star Wars, Star Trek, these films, Mission
You know what's funny is
Impossible.
you mentioned The Office. Like that, one of those actors was Pam in the UK Office.
Oh, no way. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. So they're part of that
When
crew,
they all
that,
met
like
the other
comedy
group?
crew. Yeah,
Was
Yeah.
Kate Is it Kate Ashfield? Was
the
the
one
that was
that's the one
Pam?
that like is with the guy that's in love with Simon Pegg's girlfriend.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
I got
she
you.
was
Kate Ashfield
Pam in
is
the-
Liz.
yeah.
The person from
Yeah.
the person from
Okay.
the office was just
So the
there
other
really
one,
quickly.
the other one is the Office one from the UK.
No way.
It's-
That's
yeah.
funny.
It's just funny that because that like the group of Office, even the mother I think had some cameos on the UK
Wow.
Office as one of the parents.
Oh, no
so
way.
like
So
yeah. So like they're entrenched in that like Ricky Gervais crew.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
There was-
you
so let
didn't
me
get
read
the
this.
feel like The Office in this. It's a totally different comedy style, which
Just
is
to
cool.
expand on what TC said, there was this one piece of trivia that I found. It was when Shaun, Liz, David, Diane, Barbara, and Ed run into the alternate, quote, gang as they make their way to the Winchester, there are quite a few comedy partnerships brought together again. Simon Pegg and Jessica Hayes, Tim and Daisy from Spaced, Lucy Davis and Martin Freeman,
that's what it is.
Don and Tim from The Office, Dylan Moran and Tamsin Gregg, Bernard and Fran from Black Books, and Julia Deacon
Wow.
and Nick
Wow.
Frost are also in Spaced.
These are all the good comedies over there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what? It's not the older woman, the mother has a role in the newer Ricky Gervais show on Netflix, the one where it's kind of
There's
glum.
a new one.
Yeah, it just came out in 2019. He loses his wife. She's the woman on the bench that he always goes and talks to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so she's like a major part of that show. So it's funny how like these groups of like they're like comedy troops almost in a way
Yeah.
that don't really separate long term. They end up making new comedy shows with
They
each
did
other.
that.
you
That
know?
sequence was. It's neat to know that backstory in terms of how they're bringing those people together again. But that sequence was also just great. How they just showed that like they've got these stock characters. You
It
know,
was
and there's,
pretty
like, this
funny noticing
other
it
group.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Like they just
Right.
like have the same hatch. Like, they're just dressed the same. This is silly.
I know, but it was really
Yeah.
funny. It's like they're going their separate ways. You know, I thought it was just pretty funny. I love that the other sort of general part, like during the beginning of the films, that I really love is how they're just how Shaun's just so caught up in his life that he just doesn't notice everything around him. As like lame as his life is, it's still like the most important thing to him, and I think that's really well done and funny. That like the apocalypse is going on all around him,
and he barely notices.
no,
Yeah.
he does, and it gets worse
Yeah.
and worse and more obvious to us as viewers, but he still just doesn't see it.
I mean, the
And-
friggin' Mary is in the backyard, and he's just sitting there like, what do you need? You know,
Yeah.
how can I help?
I love that sequence.
funny.
I love
She's so drunk.
I know. Like,
Yeah.
no way. Like, what? She's
So
foaming
good.
at the mouth. She looks white. What's the matter with you? You know?
And even how
What
they
does it
try
go
to
to?
show like a continuum, you know, like of. I love how they just kind of zombify people in their daily lives just to kind of make fun of that and show like there's the opening sequence of people being like zombies or people on the bus sitting there just staring forward, and how there's like, you know, it's not like completely different when they become actual zombies.
Yeah, you
And I
wouldn't
like how they
necessarily
set that
notice
up.
it if you had your head to the
Right.
ground or whatever.
Right. So
Right,
I
right.
like how that's set up. And
That
then-
scene where he walks like it was
Yeah.
a long shot from his apartment to get like the Diet Coke and the ice cream cone,
Yeah.
and it's just everything is ruined. There's dead bodies all over the place.
Right.
Cars are smashed. The store owner is dead. There's blood on
Right.
the thing. He slips on blood and he doesn't
Right,
fucking
right.
notice any of it.
But not only that, but it like replicates his first walk there
Yep.
to that store. So they completely like echo everything that happened, but add like more zombiness to it. and he still is like he's responding almost the same way.
Yeah.
And everything, and I just love how they did that. That like there was another really great sequence, and they do this a number of times in the film where they sort of like repeat what's been done, but now the zombies are there, and I
that's
think it's
something
just
you
very
hate, isn't it,
entertaining.
John?
It is. Normally. Well, and even I will say that I in this film I can get annoyed with the sequence where they keep repeating how they're going to go and kill his stepdad.
Oh, that was funny, dude.
Sequence.
I thought that was great.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's funny as
funny.
hell.
But
They
I
made
get
the
tired of
edits
it.
faster
Yeah.
as it went along, and they had like
I
different
know, it
facial
was fun.
expressions sometimes. Like
Yeah,
it was pretty
I know.
good.
No, it's you're right. Normally I would hate it, but they do it so brilliantly where they just show how Shaun's not impacted by it, how it's changed. You know, and normally when you have your stupid Groundhog Day time kinds of stuff, the guy's like, "Oh, it's all the same. This is weird. I don't know why I'm seeing this again." And,
tell us how you really feel.
They're saving a lot of money and footage because they're just showing the same thing over again. You make this a 3-hour film with the budget of a 1-hour
Wow,
film.
so much resentment.
Yeah, it's fucking time loop movies. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should watch Tenet next week.
No,
Oh,
we
God.
shouldn't. No, we
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know you like that one, Denny, but
I thought it was
No.
pretty good. It was fun.
no.
I know. No,
Was
We're
it
gonna
forward?
go
Is it
back.
backwards? Who
Sorry.
cares? The cars are going both directions. This is
Yeah,
fun.
we're gonna
Too
go
firm. No,
backwards.
we're gonna
Denny.
have to watch enough of his shit when we get to.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah. I don't know. You're the one that said it yourself. He's just the like characters and the emotions in this film are really basic and not very mature. That's always quite bothersome.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And so you add all this like intellectual complexity and this emotional lack of complexity, and it's sort of annoying.
Mhm.
But anyway, let's see.
Enough
what
about
else
Christopher
this
Nolan. What are we talking
this
about
one?
here?
I don't know. Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. So I loved like the first half of the film, and then it goes like, and then it gets all more of like a straight horror. But then there's still great bits like the Queen sequence where they're dancing to the beating up the old guy at the bar owner. That's just great.
Yeah. Me and Naomi were dancing on the
like,
couch when that scene
Oh,
was
really?
going
Yeah.
on. We're just
Man,
like
that's
And
clapping
it just
awesome.
picks up in pace. It
Yeah.
goes right to the beat.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Whack,
great.
whack,
Yeah.
whack, whack,
whack,
whack.
whack, whack. So stupid.
So-
It's so
and
funny.
nothing's happening. They're not hitting him at all.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
why not
he's
just stab him?
I
It
know.
worked out. Like,
Yeah,
before.
great.
Come
It's
on.
just such a stupid
Just-
skit. It's
yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, there's again and this movie does feel like it's just a really good time.
Or like even
Yeah.
like the fact that the jukebox and they're like, "Why'd you pick this one?" He's like, "It's on random." It's like,
Yeah.
I laughed so hard at that again because I've seen it multiple times and thought it was funny. It's just like
Yeah.
that's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the horror is good. The horror parts when they go like straight gore, it's good for what it is. It's like
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It is. When they
you know.
tear his fucking stomach apart.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
effective.
That one
Yeah.
that one was pretty nasty.
Plus, no one likes that guy. So I was like,
yeah, I
"Fuck
know.
him." You know what I mean? Like, let him go.
He
Who
played
cares?
unlikable like before he said anything somehow.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
pulled the trigger, dude. He pulled the fucking trigger.
Yeah. He deserves to be
Fucking
eaten
asshole.
from the
Yeah.
guts
Yeah.
outwards.
You're not a friend.
Yeah, the script they just tore his leg off. They didn't in this. I that was my reading corner preview. As I went and read the script, but
Yeah, they said
there's
that the two female characters were like, this is the first time. That was like the first take, and they had never seen the effect. They didn't know what to expect. So all the reaction shots of their faces were real too.
Oh, wow.
The gore
Oh,
effects that
wow.
were happening.
oh my god, wow!
You're like,
they do it-
"Holy
they-
shit, that looks real."
Yeah, like that's really fucking gross.
Oh, and they do it all live in a way where they're not like preparing anything. He just had like all those guts just in some bag under his shirt, and
Well, I mean,
is it all like one shot where it all just happens? I guess so they got to be there and be horrified.
Maybe
by
the
it.
first time.
I think so. Like there was at least one shot in the movie where it was the first take where and it was their faces with the zombies kind of in the foreground. Cameras
Okay.
like pointing from
Right,
the outside.
right,
One of those
right.
shots was the first take, and they didn't know what was going on, and there was like real fear on their faces. I'm not
So
sure
they
how
were
the
able
other
to use
shots-
that when they cut
Nice.
to
Yeah.
the other shot,
Yeah.
which was the real shot.
Right, I gotcha.
Or
So at
like the
least
one
one.
that they got that landed. Right.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
smart. I like that.
Yeah.
I like those are those juicy nuggets. Like that's how they get, stuff from people that where you don't even require them to act.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Like, get ready, we're doing this.
get ready. Yeah, we're doing this. How's it gonna look? You'll see.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. And then they get the real reactions. I
Yeah.
like it.
But yeah, I like Edgar Wright, how he like does fun things with the camera. I guess it's kind of I don't know if Fight Club was the first one to do this, but where you do those quick shots to show actions happening. like even wash hands or flush toilet, wash hands. Just I like those sort of scenes. That happens a lot in these three films. And
happened a lot.
enjoy
What was
those.
that one we watched recently? The one about drugs and how bad drugs are. What's that movie called?
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
Requiem for a Dream did it. Yeah, that's true.
That was after Fight Club, though, I guess.
I think Fight Club is. I don't know. Maybe there's some movie that's done before then. For some reason, I think Fight Club.
What about like Evil Dead?
Doing that.
Evil Dead did that. That could be like a Sam Raimi thing. Yeah.
Oh, maybe so. It'd be interesting if that was. I don't remember Evil Dead that much. So
me either, to be honest.
I watch it every year, guys. The movie's fucking awesome.
Every year.
Maybe we
It's
got
the best
do
Halloween
it.
movie there is.
I guess we got to do it.
Maybe this
Halloween
October.
special.
Yeah.
We just landed it. Yeah.
We could do all three of them. Evil Dead,
Yeah,
Evil
we
Dead 2,
gotta
and Army
prolong
of
this
Darkness.
by that anyway.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Come on,
let's not-
John.
let's
Come
not-
on.
Yeah, we
It's
just
my
agreed
birthday.
to it.
Come on.
We just agreed to it. That's it. It's
all
over.
three. Holy shit!
They're all good,
Wow.
dude.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Maybe
They
just
are
two
Every
then. Maybe
year.
just two.
Fuck.
So what? That's Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, which is a remake of Evil Dead 1, right? And then
Yes.
there's Army of Darkness, and
Yes.
then there's the remake of the second remake of Evil Dead,
Which is just called Evil Dead, not The Evil
Yeah.
Dead. That was a different director. That was awesome.
right?
And then they made a TV show. That was pretty
Right.
good.
Wow.
Was it
I don't
Ash
think I've seen
versus-
most of these.
Ash versus the Evil Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look that up.
So yeah, we'll be busy for the next year.
Yeah.
That's good. We need to be. We stay on track here.
But yeah, I'm trying. I don't know what else I got for this film. I just love it. I don't normally. I did not see this film for quite some time because I thought it was just going to be a zombie spoof movie, and I thought it was going to be like another teen movie or whatever whatever the Wayne Brothers movies are or something. Just something that's.
I
like
mean,
some
those are
stupid
funny
spoof.
too. Come on.
Oh, I know, but I just like I don't
Depends
like
which
zombie.
ones.
I'm not a
Depends.
big zombie movie fan anyway, so it just was like But I didn't. So it was quite some time before I actually saw it and loved it so much after I did.
This is a British humor movie first, and
yes.
zombie movie second.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 So John, I've never seen this movie before. Speaking on that note.
What?
Yeah.
This is your first time?
First
This was
time.
your first
No
time?
way.
First time. And I've seen
Are you
it.
serious?
No
way.
I've seen Hot Fuzz and I've seen The World's End.
Wow.
This is a first. This is
Wow,
a first.
that's
a first
incredible.
for us that we have
I've
seen a
seen
film
the movie. Yeah, right.
Is this an
that
actual
you have not
first?
seen. I think this is an actual first time that there's been a movie that you have not seen that we have seen
Yeah.
before.
Right.
And I think, so in my
Way
head,
to
going
keep that
into it,
quiet.
I didn't want to
I
say
am
anything.
shocked. I'm still shocked. I want to be shocked for a while longer.
All right,
Let
pause-
him have
pause
this. He's
to me.
awake. You woke him up, Denny.
Yeah, no shit.
But it's for the same
I've
reason,
done-
John. So this movie came out my freshman year in college, which was in my life when I had the least access to money or means of transportation or anything like that. Like I think I only saw 2 movies in college total. And it was like
Oh.
I saw like Saw and I saw the first Kill Bill, and those are the 2 movies I decided to watch over those 4
All right.
years of my life.
Oh,
But this was towards the beginning. I remember the commercials. I remember them a lot because I think this movie did pretty well. I mean, I
It
know
did.
it did pretty well, but they had
Yeah.
commercials on for a while. There was the scene where he goes like, "Yeah, boy," and he like smacks the thing together, and they have the
Oh,
scene
right,
where they're stumbling out of the bar drunk, and they're like, "Did it, did it?" And they turn to
Yeah,
the zombie, and
that's
he's
so
like,
funny,
"Urgh."
dude.
Yeah, I remember thinking watching that
So
trailer.
good.
The trailer might have ruined it for me because I remember thinking those moments in the trailer seemed stupid, and I was like, I wouldn't like
Yeah.
this movie. I'm not going to watch this.
But they were perfect in the edit.
They were
right?
hilarious in the edit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right,
that scene
right.
where they're
Yeah.
stumbling out drunk. They play such good drunks.
Yeah.
Like the way that like they're just Nick Frost is just like all over Simon Pegg. He's just like basically crawling up. He's like crawling up his chest, just drunk. You're like, hey, buddy. It was
so
all
funny.
the scenes that I remember just worked out so much better, like in the movie itself.
yeah.
And Simon Pegg is a hell of an actor. Everyone does a pretty good job here, but Simon Pegg for a comedy,
Yeah.
he really stretches like his
But
acting
even,
chops.
yeah, and even when he's like shown his emotion about like his stepdad opening up to him, and it's amazing what he does.
Yep.
He just
In the scene where he
agree.
like
That was a
kills
sad
his
part.
mother, like
Yeah.
they're
That was a
fighting
sad
over.
part. Both those parts were
Yeah.
sad.
And at the end too,
Yeah.
where he's considering suicide, also sad, and he like pulled
Yeah.
it off really, really well.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
mostly, again, everyone else is pretty good, but it was mostly him doing like the stuff that that really stood out as being good.
yeah.
Well, it's
yeah.
funny too because even John pointed out that like he's oblivious to his life. Like he's still oblivious there. Like nothing changed for him.
Yeah.
It's like we all knew. Like, dude, she's not gonna leave you now. Come on, you just led the charge, and you're the only ones left, and
That's
you
true.
saved her. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you did all the things that she was looking for you to do that you
Yeah.
weren't doing before, right?
But
Like,
he
he
still
doesn't
works at a
know.
fridge store, so maybe
yeah,
she's
you're
gonna
right.
dump him.
She's not even that
Yeah.
cool anyway. But anyway,
But
at
she's
the end
got
of the
blue
day,
eye
like,
makeup, TC.
it was just as cool. Like there was character development, but there wasn't. Like
Yeah.
his character developed, but he still was the same old, like
No, and
oblivious.
that
you know, it's
again
cool.
is why the end of the film is perfect.
Yeah.
So that he's still like got Ed in his life. I think
That
that's
made me
just
so
the most
happy.
awesome.
When they
ending.
killed
I
him
know.
off, I was like, God damn it, he lost his best friend. But then he's just gonna
He's
keep
like-
him in the garage. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I know.
Just play Xbox with him every day.
fucking,
Yeah.
that montage
was-
of them like going through like to the Ricky Lake show, and she's like, "You sleep with it in your bed?" I fucking that is such a good way to end the movie because it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, by the way, this didn't just stop. We just figured
Yeah.
out how to deal with them, and like that's how everything is in life, right? It's like Corona.
Zombies only game shows.
This was
Right.
perfect for the Corona times because it just fit like
Yeah.
that. Like it takes some crazy shit for you to see what your life is like and why it's good, and then like you just live with the rest of the bullshit. It's fine,
Yeah.
no big deal. Yeah, good stuff.
But what was really, I think, the best part of this movie is like it's a pretty short movie, and that's always good for comedies, unless I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
true.
mostly good comedies are pretty short. But like you said, John, the first scene is like really good. It's comedic, and it does what a story functionally does, but it does it in a way that's funny every time, and it's funny because of the acting, and it's funny because of the editing. And it's really good character introductions, and it was amazing how like that was one of the things I kept telling myself was like, wow, this Simon Pegg Shaun character is such a dick, but I like him. Like I don't know why
Right.
he's so likable, but he's like such a terrible person. He's causing all of his own problems. I don't feel sorry for him, but I like him.
Yep.
Right.
And that was the thing that really carries you through the movie and makes everything
Yeah,
funny,
yeah.
and it makes you feel
Yeah.
like it switches pretty quick on a dime from like being funny to going to a serious moment to going to a gory moment to going back to a funny moment. And that's typically pretty hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, at least people don't do it successfully very frequently, maybe because they don't try. But also another thing that stood out was that it kind of seems like a series of very well constructed skits. Meaning that, not in a bad way, but it's like every scene has something going for it that is like unique and funny and makes that one particular scene or location worth watching. Like a lot of movies, a lot of comedies, even like there'll be little scenes where they're just kind of like moving the story along and it's not funny, or they're like moving the relationship along and it's not funny, and it's not, also it's not dramatic because it's a comedy and they're not trying too hard for the drama shit. This movie doesn't have any of that. I've watched it 3 times now because there are 4 commentary tracks on this
Nice.
one.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that was really fun too. It was just fun. Like I could point out any single scene, and there were multiple funny moments in every scene, and there were also like my favorite ones. Like that scene where they have the one girl in the backyard starts off hilariously. Like they think she's drunk.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, it starts
Right,
with with Nick Frost just like hiding in the curtains. It was just funny. Like it cuts to
Yeah.
him, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing in there? And then they're outside and they start giggling, and then he like wrestles
Right.
her, and he's taking a picture of her, and it all
Yeah.
like comes to
Dude.
a peak.
Yeah.
where
when
like
when he does that fucking thing.
yeah, he's
with
like
the-
he's rewinding it.
when he wound it
Yeah,
up to
and he
fucking
smacks
take
him in
the
the hands.
picture again. Oh,
I
it's so
know.
funny.
And then
He's
their
like, I gotta take
expressions-
another picture of this.
Like when she like goes on, like impales herself on the pole, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Woo!"
Yeah.
And the expressions
But
are
there's a
so
scene
great.
they get the box of shit they're gonna like kill him with, but they
Right,
miss
right.
like 90% of the time.
Yeah,
So then
yeah,
they go
yeah.
get
It's
the
just like-
records and they start discussing which records they're willing to
my
like
God, dude.
destroy. Hilarious.
That was so funny.
And then it like the
So
best.
funny.
It kept one upping itself until it has the scene where they're bashing the zombies with the sticks, and then it hard
Yeah.
cuts to them like sitting on the couch, and Shaun is just like sitting
And
there
he's eating
scared
Jell-O.
to death.
He's eating Jell-O.
Yeah, and then,
like,
and then Nick Frost is just like eating his eating something, like he's fine.
Oh, so
Not fazed
funny,
by it.
man.
Yeah, that's
So funny.
And it's like
I
every
still
scene
think,
has that
I still
kind of
think that
movement.
the winding of the camera was just perfect.
yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they're staring at her and you just hear and it's just like, dude, that's perfect. It's
The
perfect.
timing of it is,
Like,
is
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I mean,
It's
again,
just-
it's just they could have pulled it off in some way that wouldn't have worked so well, but just the comedic timing that they have, and again, these are veterans of these comedy shows, so. But it is just amazing. This and you say it really well too. It does feel like that there are. These are the story. There's clearly an arc and there's a story, but these are all like skits too, in a sense that
Because they go to like
They're-
a few different
yeah.
locations over the course of the
Right.
movie, and like something happens kind of in the same way at every location to make them move to the next location, and they kind of
Right.
collect people as they go along.
Right.
And there's always some interaction towards the end with the zombie. You know, like it's kind of like, all right, we're here, new location. Who else is new? Those guys are new. All right, we need to get out of here. They don't want to go. All right, now zombies are coming. All right, like funny shit, kind of over and over again. But yeah, the characters
It
are
kind of
so
moves
good.
itself along that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, like there's like a progression linearly. It doesn't really need to like, it doesn't go back to something before. It's just like X happens, Y happens, Z happens. And then, we're back to A, but A is new.
Yeah.
And you have a whole nother alphabet full of fucking jokes to hit.
yeah.
It's great. It's fucking awesome. I mean, yeah.
And just listening to the commentaries too, it was, I guess, more smartly written. I hate hearing myself say that, but I don't know how to describe it otherwise. Than it first came off to me watching it, because in that first bar scene or it might not have been the first bar scene. I think it was the first scene after Shaun got dumped and he was there just with the Nick Frost character. And Ed is going around describing everybody in the bar. And he's like, they point to that skinny old guy and he's like, oh, that guy's a ladies' man. He's always surrounded by chicks.
Yeah.
And
then he does all that thing with his hand. He's like,
Yeah. So all that
fucking
stuff, like
good.
when they point at all the different characters, as you watch the movie, you see all those characters become zombies, and how he described them is how they
interesting.
are. Like that guy, when they're crossing a backyard, for example, like he's being eaten by 3 women. So like surrounded by women, that type of thing. So that's hidden in there. Like there was the scene where
That's
the
cool.
tall roommate was like, he was yelling at Ed.
Right.
And
It's
he was like, dude,
next
next time I see you, you're a
dead."
fucking animal. You're going to be dead or like living in the fucking shed, like the animal you are or whatever. And that's the end of the movie,
Yeah.
You don't necessarily pick up on that kind of stuff, but
No, I did not pick up on that. So
but
that's
it's kind
funny.
of cool to hear that they,
Yep.
But it also solidifies it like subconsciously for you when you're not, like if you're not really paying attention, like you've kind of already heard it and then you see it and it's like a resolve in your
Yeah.
head. I could totally see that as a
Makes it more
writing thing.
cohesive.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and what else? I mean, I don't know. This movie, it's really hard to compare to the other two because I've watched The World's End probably like 6 times at this point, and I've seen Hot Fuzz a couple times. And this one's fresh to me. But I mean, you could totally see why this became a trilogy and why these guys, they obviously have fun working
Succeeded,
together.
yeah.
That comes across so easily. TC, were you a fan of Space? I think you might have been a fan of Space,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes,
that was also Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and
Interesting.
a lot of other those characters. So they must have like learned a lot. Like this was the first thing
from
they did
those
after
series.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
they must have learned a lot and just like learned how to work together, because I feel like the combination of the comedic acting and the way it's edited together is the reason it's good.
I mean, this is kind of just an extension to what they were doing, and it's in
Was it?
film,
There was like
right?
in Space. There was a
in a
zombie
way.
episode that they did. I think too that
was
sort
there?
of started. That was the germ of this idea. I think for the film.
I've only seen a couple episodes, and I don't remember there being as much editing in that show as there was in this movie. But I could
They
be
probably
wrong.
they probably graduated to. I mean, I'm making this up, but they probably graduated to editors that were working on those shows.
Maybe that was more.
You know?
I've only seen a couple episodes. It was just more of a straight sitcom.
Right.
I mean,
it was like one
more
room
you
from
just-
one angle, like Seinfeld or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was, and that was actually that was a lot of that UK type of TV comedy style back then, right? Because there was that Irish show that I used to watch that had that sort of just always it's always in the living room.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
just taking off
Coupling,
Seinfeld's success. Why not?
In a way, but even better though, because it's like quirky like these two were. Seinfeld was kind of dry, and that's why it was like dry American humor. But like this stuff, like it's just stupid fun comedy that is just like, and it's timing based. Like it all happens like, you know what I mean? Like there's a silence, and then there's something that happens. I don't know how to describe it. You're right, but Spaced had that. It definitely had that. And something like The Office, right? The Office had that, the UK version. It was very like that, much like that. So
Edgar Wright hasn't made that many movies either, but they've all been amazing.
interesting.
Yeah. I haven't seen. I mean, Scott Pilgrim was really good. Baby Driver was really interesting. I don't remember
Scott Pilgrim was him, huh? Wow.
Baby Driver has some really amazing music
scenes and music,
sequences. Yeah, I remember not liking things the characters did or something that really annoyed me.
Because
in that
Kevin
film, and I
Spacey
can't
was
remember
that
what it
movie
was.
came out right when Kevin Spacey stuff was coming out, and he's a prominent character in there.
Full on diddle.
Right when he
Yeah.
like somehow like flipped over from interesting to creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
I can't enjoy this. I am, but I shouldn't.
Right,
So
but
I'm
I shouldn't,
conflicted
yeah.
now. He also did. So I didn't know this either. Grindhouse, the movie Grindhouse, the Tarantino Rodriguez kind of combination.
Didn't we talk about that last week? A lot.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Did we?
Did we?
I think
know.
you mentioned Grindhouse a few times.
Oh
In
no! So
relation to-
as in terms of like the genre, like
Oh,
created a
right,
genre
right.
for the and like exploitation. But the movie
Okay.
Grindhouse that Tarantino and Rodriguez did, there was either of you ever see that movie?
No,
I wouldn't
know of
necessarily
it.
recommend it, but in the middle, like they're both like an hour and a half long movies, and in the middle they had a bunch of fake horror trailers that they had a bunch of other directors do, and Edgar
cool.
Wright did the best one I think called Don't, and it's pretty damn funny. So you can just look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
It's such an interesting idea, like, combining the horror zombie thing with a comedy. And a light comedy at that. Like, it's not really, it's not dark comedy at all. It's totally like funny.
Had this never
easy.
been done before with zombies? The comedy with the zombies?
It may not have been. I'm not sure.
Because horror comedy has definitely been done, but like with
And
zombies.
zombies are everywhere. It's hard to imagine that they haven't been
But
done.
it
Maybe this
wasn't
kicked
then.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't
then.
at
This
then.
might have kicked off a whole thing.
I wouldn't
don't
doubt
know.
it.
I can't think of anything. Right?
It certainly augmented whatever was in place already, because this shit is funny as hell.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's less about the zombies and more about the British humor. And I just find that stuff hilarious.
And there was a lot of nice
Yeah.
shots of inside of a bar. I miss going inside of bars. That's nice. And the
Me
music,
too.
the music was great. I love the combination of like 80s classical arena rock and like punk rock and even the original score stuff. It was all really good.
Yep.
I can't really say anything negative about this movie at all. The only thing I would say is I don't know. It's not as good when it's not funny. When it's funny, it's hilarious. And even though the other parts that are good, that are dramatic or scary or whatever, it's just, they're really good, especially for a comedy movie. But like the comedy stuff is just better than that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
Right.
a fair point. Yeah. I mean, the really well done comedic scenes are some of the best.
Yeah.
And so it's not like that some of the other scenes are going to compare as well to that. So yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
And also, so last thing I'll say on my review portion is I watched it 3 times with the commentary tracks. I like it more after the 3rd time. So I think this
Wow.
might be like a movie you can rewatch a lot.
It is. I mean, I think I've seen it already 2 or 3 times. So
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it at least 3, maybe 4 times now. And I enjoy I look forward to seeing it when there's an opportunity to do so. So yeah, it's nice.
All right, I think that's all I
For
got.
sure.
TC, sounds like you're in the same boat.
I mean, you guys pretty much summed it right up. I don't have too much more. I think this is something that many people can watch. I mean, obviously too young, maybe not because of the blood and gore.
Yeah.
And some of the ideas of shooting others and
Yeah.
but like if you're
Killing
if
your
you're
own
over
mother, yeah.
if you're over 12, this is a funny movie for you, and it's something that I think you could watch with an older group of your family, and it would be funny for all ages. There's it's just stupid humor, but not stupid in the sense that like dumb people. It's just like easygoing stuff, right? Like the fart scene. I mean, that's funny. Because it's supposed to be serious, and he farts. He's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! I thought you were being like heartfelt." No, I just farted. Like, chill.
Yeah.
There's just there's good relationships in here. There's some dramatic stuff in there just to give you that dramatic effect, but for the most part, it's lighthearted fucking humor with like an idea that zombies are coming. I think it's fucking great. And I have nothing bad to say either. I could watch this one again, and I probably will at some point when someone who I cannot believe you haven't seen it.
I know.
That's
Yeah, I know.
blowing
I
my
honestly
mind.
went in being like, I now that I have seen it, and I'm positive I haven't seen it because there were scenes that I have never seen for
Never.
sure. But like
Right.
going into it, was like, I might have seen it because I remembered so many of the clips from the commercials, and I'd seen the other 2 for sure. And I'm like, I must have seen it at some point, but no.
Yeah, well, I mean, and they offered on the services too, right? Like it was on HBO, I think. So it's been circulating
Ah.
around still. So
I haven't had HBO
mean,
for too long. I just got it with my new AT&T
love HBO.
plan.
Nice.
fucking love HBO. Never stop being good.
There's
Never
lots of
stop
stuff.
being good. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have much else to say.
That
Yeah.
thing you said about like watching with your family, even the gore part, I could imagine like when they're ripping his guts out. That's like not a gross thing. It's kind of like it's just like,
Oh,
Yeah,
scream
yeah,
at the
yeah.
screen
that's
type of thing.
intense. Like, look at
I mean,
that. Holy
what,
shit.
not
Yeah.
with the kids, but yeah, no, Nikki
No,
wasn't
not with the
wasn't
kids.
going to watch it with me, but once she sat down and started watching it, she stayed and watched the whole thing with
Yeah.
me.
That's
It
fun.
was
See, there you go. That's
Yeah.
case in point right there. Like
Yeah.
it's anybody can sit down and just in passing and be like, oh, all right, this is all right. It's
Yeah.
the
funny.
whole thing this funny? It is all right.
Yeah,
I'm sitting down.
it is. Oh, right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely watch it again, and I would tell other people to watch it. So, and I mean, it's Simon Pegg's big break, really, into
Yeah.
like mainstream media in other countries, especially. So it's it's the humor that you always expect from him with that quirky face he makes, and
Yeah.
sometimes he's serious when he shouldn't be, and sometimes he's not when he should be, and that's kind of his shtick. So if you'd all like the UK British humor, then you're gonna definitely like this one. So I got nothing but good things to say.
Nice.
That's it, trivia.
That's it, trivia. I wanted to ask, there was one part where it reminded me of something, a comedic part where he's like looking through the mail slot for zombies, and Nick Frost's character is like, "You see any out there?" And he's like, "No, I don't think so. They must have gone." "Oh no, wait, there they are." And he like looks just slightly more to the right, and there's like a shit ton of zombies over there.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, right. That's great.
Is that like that? Reminded? What is the name of them? Mitchell and Webb kind of stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Something like that.
God, I love those two.
Yeah.
I love those two. Those
And
two
they
are
have a new
fucking
TV
great.
show out too now that I need to find.
No.
Yeah,
What, they do?
They do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I loved Peep Show.
Oh yeah, Peep Show was the best.
Yeah.
Mitchell Webb look was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
They're hilarious.
It's not exactly rocket science. It's not exactly brain surgery, is it? Yeah. That's what I do. It's such a fucking. Their skits are so funny. Now you're gonna make me watch that next. But anyway,
Is their new show a skit show, or is it it
don't-
like Peep Show? now?
like Peep Show. Yeah.
Let's see here. I hope
Been
I'm
looking
not
in the
wrong.
mirror a lot lately, Mark. Oh, really? Doing a little self-reflecting? No. Cocaine, Mark. Cocaine. Super Hans. What a character. Oh,
Where can I find this? I read this somewhere. I hope I'm not wrong.
What's it called?
I'm
You
still
find it?
looking it up. I'm having a hard time
Oh,
finding
okay.
these guys. They have long freaking names.
Oh, they were so funny.
Oh, am I wrong? Fuck. I might
Oh,
be
do
wrong.
they not have one? Oh, maybe they don't have one.
Oh no, Back.
No,
It's called Back.
It's called Back.
Back? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. When's that out? Is
Wow,
it
that's
Season
already
hard
out?
to
2
search.
just came out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll watch that.
Doesn't look too reviews.
Like it's doing too well.
Yeah, not a lot of viewer reviews
How long has it been out?
since 2017.
Oh, that's not a new show then, really.
Well, it's one season
No.
2017, and the second season is this year.
Oh, weird.
So that's a
Seems
big
like
gap there.
long Gap. Someone must have had some kids,
Yeah, probably.
right?
Or Olivia Colman, she like produced all of it, but she left him in the dust because she's doing famous Hollywood shit now. She's all famous
That
and
too.
whatnot.
Oh.
That too. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we can go to trivia. So did you guys notice the do we want to do Johnny's so I don't like Johnny's book corner. I'm getting sick of it. We got to come up with a new name for it.
Oh, okay. But just the name, not the
Not
feature.
the actual thing. The name.
No, the
Johnny's
name.
Book Corner.
Johnny's fragile, so be careful.
Yeah. Johnny's fragile book
What about
corner. No,
what
it
about
doesn't
said in
do it.
Hitchcock's voice, the hardcover corner?
Oh, the
I
hardcover
don't know.
corner.
No, pretty bad too. I
That
think
sounds weird.
Yeah.
We can put some thoughts into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
it
so
sounds
think
creepy.
about it for this week. We'll do the last, but
It's
it'll
Johnny's
keep
book
recurring.
corner.
It's
I don't know
Johnny's.
what else would it
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I just try to read something.
It sounds stupid.
Um,
Anyway.
Johnny
I
read a
mean,
lot. Johnny
yeah,
reads a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, they all have like they have biographies that they've written. I skimmed some of those, but it's
Really?
like,
When were they
Yeah, they had-
written? Do you know?
by themselves.
No, like when? Like when do they
Oh,
publish?
when?
They're not
Sorry.
done with their careers
They
yet.
do.
Like why would they write a
I
book
know.
already? Come on.
I don't know, but they
Simon
did like
Pegg's in every
extra
fucking Mission
money.
Impossible
recently.
movie.
Extra
Pegg
fucking
is
money.
like, he's a
Pegg doesn't need
It's
money.
extra
He's
money.
in Mission Impossible movies, man.
I know. He's in Star Wars. He's in
And-
Star
and
Trek.
Star
he's in
Trek.
everything.
Yeah, he's got enough money
in everything.
forever.
But I was just sort of skimming those.
So no
and it's
good?
like,
No good.
It's just like I don't care. I mean, it's like they're. So I just ended up grabbing the script, which is kind of like a default thing to do when I can't find a book to read.
Is there a good
um,
website to grab a script on, or do you kind of have to just search for it?
You can look. There's Script Slug, but I don't know the legitimacy of any of these. Like if you get it and read it, like I don't know, like I don't have no way of authenticating it. But I can grab it on Script Slug, and you're not supposed to make money off of it or what have you. There's certain whatever licensing about it, but
Huh.
But you can read it.
That's one. Yeah,
That's what
and
you're
read
saying.
it.
That's cool.
So, but I don't know. Again, I don't know like how up to date it is. Is this the most recent version? I have no idea. There's no like authentication, like I said. So
What you could do is you
Um,
could cross check with the with the movie commentary on scenes they said that they had to cut down. Or
Right,
yeah,
right.
you could.
that sounds like a lot of work
It
for
does
a
sound. Sounds like a
free
little
podcast
data
that we-
processing there.
yeah, right.
yeah, and again, skimming through the script, it's really pretty much the movie. I mean, at least this version that I have, it's like really they call out those shots when they do these like shots of like these quick shots. It like just sort of calls them out in caps. It's like a drawer is yanked open, a knife grabbed, toast buttered, a bottle of milk hits the table. So they just
Toilet
kind of like
flushed.
yes, exactly.
Wow.
Toast
and
buttered.
The
That's so
object is in
stupid.
caps. It does, but it's like saying
funny.
that you're doing those shots. There's a couple of jokes they cut out here and there. Like one that was pretty funny when they're in the first shot and they're talking about going. Diane is trying to say, "Hey, you should go to the theater," and Diane said, "I took my students to see this great new play about incest. Very cool. Lots of swearing." And Liz was like, "Oh, he's not that hot on theater." But anyway, maybe they cut out the incest joke. I don't know.
They were
probably
worried
good
about
idea.
a few of the jokes that they cut out a lot, and then they also kept some in they thought would be controversial.
Oh, there's one that you couldn't ever do now.
Yeah. And so this commentary was recorded the year after it came out, and it was on the fence then, too. I think, yeah.
Oh, really?
It was
Yeah.
when Nick Frost's character gets out of the car to pick him up. But there was also sorry, John, go on.
So Shaun's dad was described as a graying bear of a man, his stepdad, and Bill Nighy wasn't cast as that type at all. So it's kind of interesting. Just the script describes him that he was going to be like more large and sort of more like traditional, like down to earth dad. It sounded like, or like a big burly kind of guy, and Nighy's not like that at all.
So like the dad from Cloudy
Yeah.
with a Chance of Meatballs? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, kind of seems like that maybe.
Just like that.
So there was a scene where a man bites the head off a pigeon.
Yep. Was fun.
That was taken out.
That was in the movie.
Was that in the movie?
Well, I mean, it was kind of across the street, but there was like a guy.
This guy swiping at the pigeon.
Yeah, and he
it looks
picked
like
one up and
may
he
have been
like
in a-
chomped in it, but then the bus like went in front of the shot, and then when the bus was
Right.
So they
not
probably
there.
showed it before
Right.
then.
right.
In this, they wanted to show it.
So
You kind of
That scene was
like
hard to shoot.
completed the thought on that one.
They might have done it, but that scene was hard to shoot because that was all real. Like there was no special effects there. So they were inside the shop and there was a street in front of them, and then they were shooting the guy across the way. And like they had to block the street off, and they had to let people go every once in a while because it was a main street. So they had to time it perfectly. So they might have just not been able to time the bus just perfectly enough where you could see him bite the head off. But they might have been like, "Oh, that's
right.
pretty good anyway." Just
Yeah.
before.
yeah,
just
so
to guess
that
though,
might have
yeah.
been it. Let's see. The first time the jukebox comes on to a random song in the bar scene, it's was going to be, and they're sad. Shaun said it was going to be "Nothing Compares to You" by Sinead O'Connor, but apparently that's not. Maybe they didn't get the rights to it.
Probably not. Yeah.
Just right after he got dumped when he was hanging out with Ed.
Yeah.
What did play?
I forget. It was some other kind of sappy sounding song, but one that I didn't recognize.
They did talk about how the budget didn't allow them to get the bigger songs that they wanted. They had to go with cheaper songs, and they all agreed that the cheaper songs worked out better in the end anyway. But
Yeah.
I don't really know any of the song names in this movie.
yeah.
So
So,
couldn't tell you.
do you guys know what sambuca is or sambucha?
I've heard of it.
Kombucha?
So sambuca is the flaming shots that they did.
Right. Yes.
So I was sort of looking. It's mentioned that there are sambuca shots in the script, and it turns out that it's like a Greek liqueur that you can set on fire, but you also put coffee beans in there, and it roasts the coffee beans. So you do 3 coffee beans for the 3 hills of Greece, and you can light them on fire, and it roasts the beans, and you put it out and drink it.
You drink just
So-
raw coffee beans?
Oh, they're roasted now because they've been on fire.
But they're hard as
So,
shit
yeah.
coffee beans you're putting down your throat?
no, I
I
think you
guess
just
so.
drink it. They drink the water. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. I
Or
don't
do you
know.
have your teeth out and you pour the liquor through your teeth? That sounds bad.
I don't
To filter
know.
out
They
the
just
coffee
say-
beans?
They
Like a-
just
like
put
a
the coffee
teeth
beans
filter.
in. Lots of people do it and they get on fine. I never
And
really
then you
thought
got
about the
coffee beans in your
logistics
lip
of
and you
it.
can suck on them for a while. Get
You
some
just
caffeine out of
swallow
them.
the beans and then they come out the same way. I mean, what's going on
I've
here?
eaten
You're not
like
digesting those
chocolate
things,
covered
no way.
espresso beans. I didn't
Smells
think they
like
were that
yeah,
coffee
chew
on the
them,
way
right?
out.
You
Yeah.
chew them.
Yeah, but that's okay.
You're not
They're
taking a
they're
shot
not
and
painful.
chewing the liquor. That would also
Yeah.
suck.
So I wonder how many people have choked to death on coffee beans after drinking a flaming shot. Because you're already pretty toasted at that point, probably, when you got to setting your alcohol on fire.
Probably less than we know because the coffee beans aren't that hard to eat or something.
And also less than the number of college students that do that type of shot and don't put the fire out before they try to take it and they set their faces on fire.
Right.
Right.
Those are good times. 22 years old, huh?
So are either of you guys Stone Roses fans?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
What?
Oh, I love the Stone. What? Wow.
The fuck is Stone
So,
Roses?
Shoegaze band. So Stone Roses was again a very popular band. Had a really very popular first album, and then their second album took a long time to make, and it was called The Second Coming. And so there's just a joke there. They're like they had this. They're throwing the albums, and one of them was like Stone Roses. And it's like Stone Roses, and Shaun's like, no. And then the other one's like, Second Coming? Yeah, throw it. So
Because it's their one that they came back with.
Yeah.
I see. Funny. It's funny.
it's kind of funny. It's like they there's a bit of commentary in the script about the Prince one too, where it's like, because they get to the Batman soundtrack after the other Prince albums, and Shaun says, yeah, throw that one. And so the screenplay then says, Shaun throws disappointing Prince at zombie, or Ed throws disappointing Prince at zombie. So it's just funny.
It's funny.
Wait, so is that a Prince album called Batman, or are we talking about Batman the movie?
Prince did the Batman soundtrack. Yeah, he did one of the Batman the
Tim Burton one.
He did some songs for the Tim Burton one. I think the first one. Yeah, he did some songs for that first Batman soundtrack.
Did not know that. Is that Kiss from a Rose? No, that was Seal.
That's Seal.
That's Seal.
That's
it was
not the first one. That's
Kiss
the
from
fourth
Rose
one. That was a good one.
Loved Kiss from a Rose.
It's my favorite song, actually.
Great song.
Yeah.
Let's see. And my final
down.
bit of learnings from the screenplay is that when they're back in the house, there are photos of Shaun and Liz on the wall, and there's advertising a club at which Shaun now DJs. So he's back into DJing. I didn't get that from watching the film, but apparently the decor shows that he's back doing DJing now. So he's actually getting his life together.
That also assumes you picked up that he used to be a DJ from
right,
which I didn't get
at all.
Yeah, the script tells you. There's lines in the script which I don't know where they were in the film, but lines.
There's posters and the nighttime shot where they're doing the DJing stuff. Where you see, it's actually the only time you see his last name in the movie. Shaun, what was his last name? They don't even have it in the IMDb credits, but it has his full name, Shaun, and then whatever his last name is on the poster, and it's him as a DJ, as he used to.
Well, and I
DJ.
think. And when they meet the girl, as they're like the two groups meet as he's trying to go to the bar, and they're like Yvonne or his friend or whatever, or not even then, it's before then. Remember when he meets her in the street as the car crash is happening around them, and they're trying to talk over it, which also was hilarious. That there's this scene of escalating accident intervention going on behind them, and they're trying to have their old friends meet once again moment. And they have to keep talking louder. It's great. But in that scene in the script, she asks, "So you still DJing?" Or and I think she makes mention of his DJing career, and he says he's not doing it anymore. So, but yeah,
I'm a fridge salesman now.
Yes, I sell fridge. That's all I got. So.
Nice. So did either of you notice the shaved splotch on Nick Frost's Ed character?
Yes, I did notice it.
Yeah.
What is that?
So there's no explanation, but what he wanted to do is he mentioned the Marcellus Wallace character, Ving Rhames' character from Pulp Fiction with the Band-Aid on the back of his neck. How there's there's no story there, but it kind of makes you think what happened here. So he took Pulp Fiction influence and shaved a little notch out of the back of his head,
just
for his character, just for the hell of it. Yeah. So it was a character decision.
I only remember seeing it once and wondering about it once. But maybe you can see it more once you start looking for it.
I think you can see it.
It's a real square, just like he's had.
Like he was shaving his own head and someone bumped his elbow or something.
Or he had some really precise brain surgery.
Yeah. So speaking of the commentary tracks, getting into those, there are 4 on this Blu-ray.
So tell me what was the zombie one like?
I didn't listen to the zombie one. I listened to 2 of them.
Oh, you didn't even try? I'm just wondering if they're just people going,
the whole time.
You should have asked me the question before the podcast. At least I could have checked to see if that was the case. But no, I would assume it was probably their experience on the whole movie.
Right. Shaun, there was an interview on GQ, the British GQ, which I didn't know there was, where Shaun talks about how they were just fans of Spaced that came over.
Yep, they're all Spaced
fans. They paid him £1 each because they had to pay him something.
Yep. And they were all the same. Yeah. So the zombies or the people you see walking around in the beginning, I think you said this, that they're all the zombies later on in the movie. This movie still cost $6 million to make, which is not a small amount of money, but I guess still indie budget.
That's not a small amount of money. Yeah.
And this movie, it's kind of weird because it does seem it's like a well put together TV show, but it's movie-like in a lot of ways. I don't know. Not as polished as, say, Mission Impossible 5.
I would say it doesn't have an epic feel to it, but yeah.
Even though there's some real scale in some of the shots. So here we go. I found it. So the 4 audio commentary tracks, the first one is Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, who are the star and co-writer, and then the director and co-writer. The second one is Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Dylan Moran, Kate Ashfield, and Lucy Davis, who are like kind of the main crew that walk around together most of the movie. The third one is Bill Nye, who, by the way, they said Bill Nye
guy?
a bunch. And I'm like, Bill Nye, the science guy. That's not the same guy.
No,
They're kind of skinny and old in the
It's
same
Bill
way.
Nye.
Oh, Bill
I think you say Nye, don't you?
Ah.
Yeah.
Nye.
They said
Bill
Nye.
Nye,
On the commentary, they're like,
science guy?
Maybe it's Bill Nye then.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
Bill Nye.
He's got to
been
change his
Love
name. It's way too
Actually.
confusing.
He's everywhere. He's in a
Yeah,
ton
too
of
close.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he always plays the same kind of character, it seems.
He was pretty good in
he's
this.
just sort of-
I liked him.
Yeah.
And Penelope
he was
Wilson,
Bill.
who is, I assume, the mother character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was the mother. So the father and mother do their own commentary track. And then the last one is the zombies. Yeah. So I think it's just a room full of people. I don't know how they mic that. It's like 40 people in there.
Yeah.
Just all yelling at the same time. But I listened to the Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright one, and then also the one with all the actors in it. I figured that the Edgar Wright one would have a lot of good information, or any of them would have a lot of good information, but they didn't. None of them did.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Not to say that
Oh.
they're not worth listening to. They fucked
but
around
not.
the entire time. So like they gave me false information frequently to the point where it sounded like I might be getting some trivia. I'm not even going to talk about it because like they lied.
Wow.
They lied frequently, and
Just because they were having fun.
yeah, they were drinking. During the other one, like they went through a couple bottles of wine with each other and got real loose, and they basically just
wow.
like. I mean, they did a lot. It was like listening to a podcast, kind of like if you put a
Yeah.
podcast of the people who did it over a movie and just like you get to hang out with them and watch an enjoyable movie. That's what it was. It wasn't like a infusion of
Right.
data,
They
which
weren't
is what
going
I'm-
back
Right.
over that time.
right. And they did
And,
sometimes, and only really when there were lulls in their conversation, which wasn't very frequent, but it was still pretty entertaining to listen to. So, I mean, even more so maybe than most commentary tracks for you guys because it's kind of like, they are their characters. I mean, this movie is based on the fact, or at least parts of it is that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they lived in a flat together for a while. So that's why this is kind of a reoccurring theme where they're sharing
I still love
couches
that quick scene where James is or who is it that says he's not your boyfriend, and Nick gives him the beer and go like they're in the bar after they've like gotten there to the zombies and Ed gives Shaun the beer and he's like might be a bit warm because the fridge is out. He's like thanks babe, and I don't know, it's just great.
Yeah.
Right, just another great little scene.
They said that long shot with the zombies was the first thing they did, and they did it a year before everything else. It was a proof of concept
year?
shot, yeah,
Oh wow,
which is
Wow.
kind of strange. So it's like they didn't. So the second one where everything was destroyed was the one they did, and they went back and did the clean, undestroyed version a year later with all the other shots. Once they started filming, it was 9 weeks, which is standard stuff, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
8 of
quick.
those days where they were all jammed in the car.
Ugh.
So it was like, 1/9 or 1/8 almost of the entire shoot was them jammed in that car, which is weird because they go to a
That'd
lot of
have been
different
rough.
places. All of the gore sounds were Micah Bowl put a bunch of dog food in it, mushed the dog food around.
Ah, interesting.
Good gore sounds. Very
Yeah.
wet meat.
Well,
Ew.
Yeah.
gross.
They had to get permission from all the bands they mentioned on the records. So that might have been why they removed some of the jokes there.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
But a lot of the bands liked Spaced, so they
So they're
gave it
like,
to
"Go
them super
ahead."
cheap, yeah, or free.
Yeah. Or cheap. Yeah. Not free.
They had to
Nothing's
pay
free.
money to like mention a record.
You do,
Yeah.
Oh,
And they also had to go through and so when you notice like all the TV channels when they're down, it actually
Right,
says real
MTV.
TV networks. They had to go
Yeah.
through and get permission from every single one of those networks as well.
oh
That
wow.
was a big pain in the ass for the people responsible for it. The scene where he's hitting the zombies in the car and you see him fly over the windshield. The car in reality, those are actual stuntmen, but the car is going 12 miles an hour and they're
Oh,
speed up the footage.
I got you.
that's cool.
They call it clearing the TV stations. That's the technical term. You have to clear the TV stations.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, checks out.
That
Checks
checks
out.
right. That checks out.
It actually works
Uh-huh.
here too in Hollywood, UK and Hollywood.
Ah,
They're the same
yeah.
page on that one.
Yeah, it checks out.
The scene where they're beating that. So first of all, that the bar owner, who's like the big guy they beat with the pool sticks, is an old stuntman. He's been a stuntman for like 40 years or something. So he was actually taking those hits. I mean, they weren't real.
He was
pool
like
sticks.
in a John Wayne movie. He was like that. Like
Yeah.
he got
Oh,
hit
wow.
by John Wayne.
and he
It's kind
does
of-
the stunt
His
coordination
nerve
for
endings
this one,
don't
too.
feel anything anymore. Yeah, go ahead, hit me all you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did like 9 takes of that, so he was probably sore after that. But to do that whole scene, they were all synced up to the music. They all had something that Edgar Wright has at least used in Baby Driver, where they put little, they call them earbuds now. They called them something else back in 2004 when they recorded this, but it was little wireless earbuds that would play music and synced up like a silent disco, so they could all just like
very cool.
be in rhythm together, you know?
Right. Silent disco was fun.
Soon, TC, we can go back.
Just
to
got
silent disco.
ripped back to Bonnaroo real quick.
It's like, wait, this is fun? This looks like just a bunch of idiots dancing around. Put the headphones on. Oh, shit,
Oh
this is good.
shit, that's cool. Yeah.
The way they filmed it was a mix of real locations and studios. The bar was a studio. Simon Pegg's apartment was a studio. His girlfriend's apartment was a real place. A lot of the street shots were real places, but also a lot of them were studios. It was kind of like a half and half, it seemed. You can tell I'm low in trivia because I don't even find that interesting.
Ooh.
But it's in there.
Yeah. I didn't even listen to it. I was
No,
still
it's
in
fine.
Bonnaroo.
Oh, it's fine.
I was still in Bonnaroo. I was like, I'm going again. I don't care. That's what I was just talking to myself in my head. But I'm going to go
You
again.
going to
No, I
Bonnaroo?
don't care what happens.
Not this year,
Yeah,
but maybe
right.
next year. Maybe
I'm
next
doing
year.
a cheat week. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to Bonnaroo. Yeah, like I'm going.
So we got Pete, the angry roommate, played the voice of Darth Maul in episode 1.
All right.
Oh, come on, John. Nice reaction mid-yawn.
All right.
Let's get it on. I wouldn't have guessed. Yeah.
Where am I?
Gonna keep that in the old noggin up here. Yeah.
Good trivia. Something to scare the children with. Did you know?
So they Americanized some of this, some of the comedy.
Really?
One of the things they mentioned was the scene where they go to the girl in the backyard, in the garden. There's a girl in the garden. In the UK version, they look at each other and say, "She's pissed."
No.
But in the American version, we might think of that as being angry.
Yeah.
But they changed it
that's right.
to "She's drunk."
She's drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Because that honestly might have confused me, even though I'm
Yeah,
aware of that
that's true.
phrase. Like,
Because
still.
right. Yeah. Because you're not really thinking about that when you go see it as an American.
Right.
Right.
So that was smart of them because they did that with a lot of things. They didn't give a lot of examples because, again, they were fucking around with each other. But it sounds like they spent some time thinking about how they could localize it for Americans because it was,
Right.
they're very British people. They have a very British way of speaking, and they wanted to make sure that Americans could enjoy it. And they were right because we did.
Thinking globally.
Yeah. There was one injury mentioned. The Liz character got burnt in the face by a spent shotgun shell during the scene where he was firing into the windows full of zombies. They were blanks or something. I don't know what they were, but like, it was hot enough where it was like it was shooting out the side of the shotgun like a real shotgun would. And they're hot, and she was standing there, and she got hit in the face, and it burned her.
Holy shit.
So
That would hurt.
I would think so.
Oops.
Whoopsie. That's it, guys. And I still would recommend the commentary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always fun to just hear people like that talk.
It is, and they're so likable.
See how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they joke around. They mess with, they mess with me because they tell me, like, towards the beginning on the first commentary, I'd be like, oh, that's good information. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, he's joking. Okay. All right, so the next one's going to be good.
And you're like, God
and I
damn
finally
it.
learned my
Yeah.
lesson. Like, he's never going to give me anything good. They're just going to fucking
Right.
tease me.
They're just
and
fucking around.
Yeah, they're just going to mess with me. Like, they know I'm here for information. They're not going to give me any. They're just going to fuck with me. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they made it just for Denny.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, right.
They know what I'm there
right.
for.
Yeah.
But, all right, so top 250, guys. Would you put this in the top 250?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I would too. This movie is also really damn close to being in the top 250.
Yeah. It's like 7.9.
7.9 with 500,000 votes. It's a
I'm
lot.
surprised it's not
I know.
in the list.
None of these three movies are. It's very surprising.
No.
So, TC. Oh, no, TC.
So we're gonna do
Oh,
the
no.
Cornetto, but we're gonna interleave them.
We're gonna
like,
keep
go,
the bonus real episode back and forth.
Okay.
So next week we're doing the
So
List
we're-
movie. Week after that, Hot Fuzz. Week after that, List movie. Week after that, The World's End.
So
Perfect.
what kind of anger am I going to have?
TC, what movie have you been looking forward to watching? The
Oh, no, is it
least.
Citizen Kane?
Citizen Kane, 1941.
Oh, come on. God damn it.
Think of it this way, TC. At least you're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. You won't have it in your
Yeah,
future
right,
again.
get it
I'm
over with.
surprised Citizen Kane isn't higher up.
I'm glad it's not.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I know,
it's
but I'm
not.
surprised.
I think there's
Yeah.
people like us that don't want it to be. I think. I don't know.
Fuck. Can we just watch Larry Arabia again?
Oh, I'd love to watch Larry of Arabia again.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh, Citizen Kane. God Damn it. All right.
1941, directed by Orson Welles. The synopsis is, following the death of a publishing tycoon, Charles Foster Kane, reporters scramble to uncover the meaning of his final utterance, Rosebud.
I hope I like it more than I did last time.
Me too, TC. I'm on the same page
Me
as you
too.
there. It's only
All right.
2 hours long. At least it's not like 4 hours long, right?
That's
right,
fair.
right. I mean, look at the bright side. That's right. Stay positive.
That's
Stay
right.
frosty. There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, and I'm sure there's a terrible historian commentator I'm going to have to listen to, TC. So you don't even have the worst
It's
guess.
very
God.
likely going to be one of
Yeah.
your favorites.
Better
on
not
there.
be Cowie. Oh,
Yeah,
swear to
It's
God.
going to be. I bet you.
Swear to God.
Oh, God. Godspeed.
Oh, geez. All right. So good
All right,
luck.
guys.
Good luck this week, guys. Good luck.
All right,
Get through
Take care,
this one.
guys.
Later.
All right, later.
Bye.